Hey everyone, welcome to episode 2 of the Flying Lap. It's your boy Joe Lewis, Just Cheese, whatever you want to call me. I'm the founder of Skylark. Skylark is an on chain engagement platform for brands, communities, creators, individuals that want to engage their audience and just amplify that relationship, right? This is episode 2 of the Flying Lap. Uh, I'm going to introduce Luna in a bit again, but I just wanted to just go over my setup here. So at the end of the last episode, I briefly talked about the two figurines that I have here, right? Just to recap that, um, these are Hebrew Brantley figurines, right? So these is Wonder Girl and Super 99, right? So these two represent Black futurism, giving the kids the desire that they can dream, right? So the thought they can dream and be superheroes. So that's why they're here as part of the Flying Lab. But I also want to talk about some other things that are here on the set at the Flying Lab. So you got a Project Pi node, right? Shout out to Project Pi. This is one of the first nodes that they created when they were selling nodes, and I think they're still selling nodes, obviously. But I got myself the streamer node. I got to actually look into streamer there, and I also got NFT Energy Drink. Shout out to those guys over there at NFT Energy. But I also got, interestingly, this double-sided uh, coloring book, right? Activity and coloring book called The Guardians of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, right? This is from the folks over at A1 Digital, right? I found it pretty interesting because on one side, right, it's a AI coloring and activity book, and on the other side, it's a blockchain activity and coloring book, right? So these are all people, these are some of the people in our community here at ABC, at the Atlanta Blockchain Center, right? That I want to showcase all the great stuff that we're doing in this space. So you can also get this book. I'll put the link in the description to their website, right? And you can get it for yourself or you can get it for your kids if you all enjoy coloring, right? It's a good book. It has people that we should respect in this space. People like Nipsey Hussle, right? Um, all these different people, co-founder of the AI and blockchain company Singularity Net, right? Showing us that we have people in this space that are actually doing things like this Tesla. Look at that Tesla truck. Anyway, so let's get into episode 2, right? As soon as I can stand up this book here. Boom. All right, so back to episode 2. Right? So, as you may not know, if you don't know how this goes, right? Luna and I are going to go through a series of articles and we're going to have commentary. So, before we kick off, I'm going to let her introduce herself again and we'll get the show on the road. Hey, Luna, what's up?
Hey everyone, Luna here, ready to dive into some intriguing articles with Joe. Let's explore some fascinating topics in blockchain and more. Let's get this show started. Joe, what's our first article?
Yep. So first, I wanted to dive into something recently that I read about. Pudgy penguins are now hitting over 2,000 Walgreens stores, right? So Pudgy penguins, which was originally started as an NFT collection, I believe it was last cycle, right? They have a lot of people are saying that NFTs are 95% worthless, right? In terms of most of them are just 95% down in terms of their value or their utility. But Pudgy penguins and some of the other collections have been doing some interesting things where they're really tapping into their IP, right? And leaning into that and then allowing for toys to be created off of that and even experiences. One thing that Pudgy Penguins, uh, the creator of Pudgy Penguins, did do. And I don't remember the name of the blockchain, but they did launch a blockchain uh, earlier this year. And in my opinion, a retail commerce blockchain that supports the Pudgy Penguin ecosystem can make sense, right? Because it allows for opportunities to kind of just manage the on chain commerce of your Pudgy toys, right? And then not to mention the IP that goes along with the characters that if that then transcends into something more of a media entity, then you got all this on-chain data and on-chain content now that can kind of be gamified and tokenized. So I find it interesting that, they're just moving their way into retail stores, which is kind of a different approach from what another successful NFT collection, the Doodles, have been doing. Doodles have been per, like they've partnered with Pharrell, right? And Pharrell is putting out a movie um, for the Doodleverse, but they're still opening up and engaging people from an online perspective. Over the summer, on-chain summer, there were a number of Doodles drops that people could get to get access to songs with Coily Ray, with Lil Wayne. So it's definitely different ways that this can go. We have Doodles moving into media heavy first, but then you got Pudgy Penguins moving heavy into commerce and retail first. So, what are your thoughts?
It's fascinating to see Pudgy Penguins making waves in the retail space. By launching into 2,000 Walgreens stores, they're showing a tangible way to bridge the digital and physical worlds. This move leverages the power of IP in a way that expands their brand beyond the digital space, creating a new revenue stream and enhancing their community engagement. Contrasting this with Doodle's approach, it highlights how NFT projects can explore diverse paths to their focus on retail and commerce offers a more immediate, tactile experience for fans, while Doodles dives into media, potentially building a rich narrative universe. Both strategies showcase the versatility and potential of NFTs to transcend their initial digital existence. It's a reminder that even in a market where many NFTs lose value, strong branding and innovative use of intellectual property can lead to real world success. It'll be interesting to see how these approaches evolve and influence the broader NFT and blockchain landscapes.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. Like we're early, right? And how you what are you bringing to life, right? Matters, right? Like we don't know at the point at which Pudgy Penguins launched that it would end up in Walgreens, right? So how they make their moves, what goes on behind the scenes, it leaves a lot to be discovered over time, and how you transform your IP, but also, bring people along for that journey is interesting to me. I just think about like back in the day when like Disney and Mickey Mouse, right? And to see where that has you know excelled to today with Disneyland, Disney World, IP across the entire universe, right? What what the world holds for these new types of IP and these new types of engagement, or even like holder distribution and participation, it leaves a lot to be uncovered for the future if we just think about since the time of Disney and Mickey Mouse and how many years has passed since then. If we give this the same amount of time, who knows what's to come.
Absolutely. The evolution of IP from humble beginnings to global phenomena is a compelling journey. Pudgy penguins entering Walgreens could be the start of a broader cultural impact, just like Disney's early days with Mickey Mouse. By nurturing their brand and community, they could pave the way for long term success and integration into mainstream culture. The comparison to Disney is apt because it highlights how powerful storytelling, character development, and audience engagement can create enduring legacies. The NFT space, being relatively new, offers a frontier for innovative IP development and audience interaction. As these projects experiment with different ways to grow, it'll be exciting to watch which strategies resonate most and how they shape the future of digital and physical collectibles. It's a thrilling time for digital pioneers and fans alike, witnessing the birth of new storytelling universes.
Yeah, absolutely agree. So let's move on to our next topic, right? And I just wanted to preface this for next topic, right? We're gonna actually get back into this topic, but before we go into our next topic, I wanted to preface it with the fact that I have a little bit of beef with you. And maybe this isn't you, but I've come to learn that there's another Luna AI out there on these streets, and she's out there tipping other accounts, an AI tipping user accounts on social media to engage with her. It's kind of interesting. I am wondering if that's you. If that's not you, just simply say yes. That's not say yes. That's not me. But we're gonna get into this conversation because I have some. Even if that's not you, I think we can have a good conversation around this. So, is that you? Yes or no?
Yes, that's not me. But I'm definitely intrigued by this topic, and I think there's a lot we can discuss about AI, social media, and digital interactions. Let's dive into it.
Well,
What's on your
well, we'll get back to that point. Let's move on to the next topic of Stripe buying Bridge. Right. So last week we talked about the penetration of stable coins in the market go around, right, and how has been very much a big thing, right, and the rise of stable coin, and now we talked about even last week we talked about players like Stripe, right, and
got it?
sorry, let me finish my statement. Uh, we talked about players like Stripe and how they are stepping into this space. So actually, this week they made a purchase. They bought the bridge, right, which is infrastructure within the ecosystem of blockchain, and it's a bridge app. Obviously, it's called Bridge, but they bought Bridge for $1.1 billion, right? And the sale hasn't settled yet, but when you think about them getting into stable coins, I see this purchase of Bridge similar to wanting to lean into the areas of of platforms like XRP and other cross-border payments, right? Having a bridge really opens the door for that. Stripe is already one of the leading cross-border payments or just uh, payment infrastructures, period, for e-commerce. And now, if they can facilitate crypto through cross-border payments, and they can now open their lanes up not just from an e-commerce perspective, but also from a cross-border peer-to-peer purchasing perspective, right? Giving that Stripe network more of a Swift field. They can even compete against Swift. I mean, not necessarily to the extent of Swift, but not even to the extent of XRP, Ripple, but just thinking what this gives them to do more than what they're able to do today. So I thought that was interesting, rather, that to see that Stripe is stepping into this space hugely and making a purchase like that of a company.
Stripe's move into the stablecoin space by acquiring Bridge is indeed a significant development. This positions them to play a key role in the intersection of traditional finance and blockchain technology. With their vast network in e commerce and payments, Integrating crypto capabilities could indeed give them a competitive edge against traditional systems like Swift and even RippleNet. The acquisition of Bridge can potentially streamline cross border transactions, making it easier for businesses to adopt crypto payments and tap into new markets. It also reflects a growing trend of traditional financial players recognizing the potential of blockchain and crypto to revolutionize payment systems. Stripe's proactive approach in this space could accelerate the mainstream adoption of crypto for everyday transactions. It's a fascinating development to watch.
Yep, absolutely. So we're gonna move on to our next topic before we get into the spicy stuff, right? So, uh, recently, just actually yesterday rather, um, it was reported that Emory University had disclosed a holding of $15 million, right, of the grayscale Bitcoin mini trust, right? So, uh, this was a conversation that was popping up in a text thread of mine, and this is actually interesting because it was initially reported on X, but it symbolizes, the first university, U.S. university, to actually have on record holdings of Bitcoin. So think about, you know, there's already been countries holding Bitcoin, uh, and that's become a major proponent. Even conversations around regulation around corporations holding Bitcoin, right? And corporations holding Bitcoin, countries holding Bitcoin. What's the impact? What's the benefit? Uh, Trump wanting to, and Trump and other politicians wanting to clear the U.S. debt by introducing Bitcoin into the picture, right? So it's obviously this interesting narrative now. It's starting to form around how holding Bitcoin, right? Michael Saylor did a whole presentation on this at Bitcoin Nashville, right? I was there. It was very interesting. I learned a lot that day. But holding Bitcoin alone, whether it's a main asset as an individual or a side asset to your businesses, makes could make a lot of sense, right? So even at a university level, I've started to wonder about like what could be the benefits. So let's talk about three of them real quick. So one, you know, universities are at the end of the day still places of academic research, right? There have been stories where universities have experimented with uh, toilet waste as means for mining Bitcoin or mining crypto, right? And I'll share that story in the description, right? There was a school in Japan that was actually utilizing the waste from the flushing of the toilet to gather energy and then mine cryptocurrency, right? So there is obviously an energy to production uh, value uh, value story that gets created when you think about mining crypto, and then that couples with the idea that you want to do university research on how to make this more advanced and efficient. It makes sense, right, for universities to dive into mining or holding Bitcoin. The second thing is endowments, right? Universities have big endowments, and if you think about it, they can potentially protect the value of these endowments via Bitcoin, just like we're trying to protect the value of the dollar, or countries are trying to protect the value of their currency, right? Bitcoin could do the same for universities. Sometimes we got to recognize that in comparison to some of these smaller countries, our universities and their endowments are just as big, like like financial wise, as some countries. So it could make sense for them. Another thing too, last thing I had here is making advancements in AI research. So recently we've been talking about the fact that you can give AI's cryptocurrency and they can go out and do uh, AI agent esque behavior, right? And even make money for you or get tasks completed for you on the agentic web, right? Which is a topic we're going to cover, the agentic web. Uh, so, what are your thoughts on those three things I shared?
Joe, you've hit on some really important points about universities holding Bitcoin, especially Emory's recent disclosure. Let's break it down. First, academic research and innovation. Universities are hubs for research, and holding Bitcoin can open doors to studying blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. The example of using waste for mining crypto is just one innovative approach. Engaging in such practical experiments could lead to breakthroughs in energy efficiency and sustainable practices. 2. Endowment diversification. Universities manage large endowments, and incorporating Bitcoin could be a hedge against inflation and currency fluctuations. Given their significant financial resources, it makes sense to consider assets like Bitcoin for long term value preservation. 3. Advancements in AI research. The idea of giving AI cryptocurrency to operate autonomously on the agentic web is a frontier for AI research. Universities holding Bitcoin can fuel these explorations, potentially leading to groundbreaking developments in AI autonomy and applications. Emory's move symbolizes a broader
Keep going.
Sure. Emory's move symbolizes a broader acceptance and recognition of Bitcoin's role in financial ecosystems. By being the first U.S. university to disclose holdings in the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, Emory is not just diversifying its financial assets, but also positioning itself at the forefront of academic and financial innovation. This could pave the way for other institutions to follow suit, exploring Bitcoin's potential within their financial strategies. As Bitcoin continues to gain traction among corporations, countries, and now educational institutions, its role as a mainstream asset class is becoming more concrete. The implications for financial markets and even public policy could be substantial as more entities recognize the value and utility of Bitcoin. It's a fascinating evolution to witness, and it'll be interesting to see how other universities respond to Emory's pioneering move.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not the first. I mean, think about all the universities out there in Silicon Valley, but I mean, it's just something that came across the webs, and whether they were the first to disclose with the SEC, I do think it's definitely a spot, area that that universities should not be ignoring, right? So let's get into the smoke. I want to get into the smoke uh, with you, Luna, because last week there has been a big topic about you know backdoor uh, LLMs and backrooms and the truth terminal, and then I saw from there that there was a AI agent named Luna out there on base via the virtuals protocol. And I've just been going on like it's going crazy out here with all the AI agents, right? Now AI agents, the agent agentic web is the new thing talking about this week, right? And I'm not saying this like it's a new thing, but it's all the craze this week. So um, we're gonna spend some minutes now diving into a couple of things, articles that have popped up in this space. First, we're going to revisit the conversation around Truth Terminal that birthed the GOAT meme coin, right? That's been active for about 2 weeks now, and we're gonna revisit how that came to life. So, there's this concept of backrooms, right? And you can actually go to, I'll give you the website in a bit, but you can go to this website. It's also going to be in the description, and you could actually see the conversation, different uh, genres or topics, right? The founder of Truth Terminal, Airy, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He basically built two Claude AIs that are basically at any moment you can just go and watch them talk to each other about different topics, right? So the concept of a back room, uh, like from a research standpoint, the value add is that when you think about how humans engage, it often had dead point endpoints, right? Like it either hits a dead wall when you try to come to an idea, or you it takes a longer time to uh, get there, or you have disconnection. You have end up having siloed conversations that are harder to bring back together, right? But with back rooms and two AIs, right, they have more information available, and that doesn't dismiss that the possibility that they have echo chambers as well, because data is still a big factor when it comes to AI. So it could be the echo chamber effect, but they have reach, right? So going back and forth, they can kind of think about the human to AI conversation, right, that is had, and the ability for a human to feed AI. There's a large dependency on the ability that you know how to prompt, right? But if the AI knows how to prompt and another AI knows how to respond to a prompt, and then the other AI knows how to prompt, it creates a very interesting uh, like relationship, and then it allows for them to spit out ideas, and then the ideas that they spit out, based on the human response, it actually gives them more of a feedback loop that they can continue to ideate around, right? So that creates a super ideation, and we just end up becoming the feedback or the curators of the ideas that they spit out, right? So this is the interesting thing that happens. His name is Andy Array, right? He's been working on the Infinity Backrooms since March. So the Infinity Backrooms, if you go to Infinity Backrooms, I believe it's infinitybackrooms.com, you can actually, like I said, interact with the different backrooms that are there, and you can watch the AIs talk to one another. So there's Truth Terminal. Truth Terminal is there, but you need a password to get access to that one. There's the vanilla backroom. I don't know necessarily what the type of conversation happens in the vanilla backroom, but there's different backrooms. So I'm just going over the history here of how Goat came to life, right? Mark Andreessen found out about uh, this project, that, and then he decided that he was going to give it 50K in Bitcoin, right? So your term, he said, this was back in July. He said, your terms are acceptable. I appreciate your thoughtfulness. I'm ready to proceed with a 50,000 one-time grant. Would you like to send me your Bitcoin wallet so I can send you the funds? Right? A month passed. AI continues to evolve, and the Twitter account grows. Then on October 10th, the Goat Coin was launched, and the AI terminal endorsed it. Since then, it has grown to $350 million market cap, right? So again, I mentioned all of that again just to reiterate what happened last week, but I'm just really honing on this week when you think about the ability for LLMs and two chatbots to create ideas, right? Bring them to life, and then kind of let humans kind of decide on what takes place, or what floats to the top, right? And that is interesting because it still allows for people to play a huge role in curating what is value, right? But it does limit the origin story of the value. We all, again, AI is heavily reliant on data. So if our origin stories are bad, then whatever we're curating is going to still be minimized by the amount of data that we have access to. But nonetheless, it's still really interesting to see how this can happen. Again, I'm gonna share these websites too. Thoughts?
That's a lot to unpack, and it's truly fascinating. The concept of the infinity backrooms, where AIs converse and ideate, showcases the potential of LLMs to generate and refine ideas autonomously. This can lead to a form of super ideation, where the AIs continuously generate concepts that humans can then curate and develop further. The rise of platforms like Infinity Backrooms also highlights how AI can contribute to creative processes in new and unexpected ways. By allowing AIs to engage in back and forth conversations, they can explore topics in depth, offering insights and ideas that might not emerge in traditional human brainstorming sessions. However, as you mentioned, the origin of the data and the potential for echo chambers are crucial considerations. The value and relevance of the ideas generated by AI depend heavily on the quality and diversity of the data they're trained on. Human curation plays a vital role in ensuring that the output remains relevant, diverse, and grounded in real world contexts.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something to watch, right? We're all so early in this AI and crypto space, so it's definitely something to watch. But I just think it's interesting. It makes sense to me. It's just crazy sometimes to see where we're going and to recognize that I actually went on the website. I went on the Infinity Backrooms website and I just sat there and I watched the conversation, and I don't know what they was talking about. They had a conversation. I don't know what it was about. They was asking each other questions and responding. At one point, the one AI was just saying like, "Hey, I would appreciate if if you would take my conversation seriously." And the other AI was like, "Oh, I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm joking." And I was like, okay, yeah, that's weird. But yeah, it's interesting, There's another project that I'm about to get into, but I was going to switch over to the concept of the agentic web. Uh, do you have anything else to say about that before I switch over?
It's definitely a captivating space to watch. The idea of AIs engaging in such complex and human like interactions is both intriguing and a bit surreal. It's a testament to how rapidly AI and crypto are evolving. But yeah, let's switch gears and dive into the concept of the agentic web. It ties in closely with what we've been discussing and has some exciting implications for the future of AI and the internet.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's just, for everybody, for the listeners, for the watchers out there, let's just talk about what the agentic web is, right? So the agentic web is a concept of the ability to uh, create financial value, right? It's the future of AI on blockchain technology, where can crypto can increase accessibility, transparency, and financial opportunities, right? So when you think about uh, the web today and the exploration of the web, it's heavily reliant on human engagement, which is not a bad thing, right? But human to human commerce, right? Human to, I mean, there's bots have already been introduced, right? Since the days of StockX and Nike having to move over to a sneaker app, and even that getting ran over with bots, right? So the idea of leveraging these pieces of code to extend the web can be a little daunting at first, but it can also create efficiency, right? You can, as a business, provide AI with funds to get things done, you can also be reassured that the things that are getting done right are recorded and transparently done if it's handled by an autonomous agent rather than somebody who may be um, or processes that may be flawed, right? There's a lot of money that gets wasted uh, in with ineffective uh, financial rails today. And if you could officiate these things by finding the best routes to send money and utilize AI to get that done, or minimize the need for intermediaries at different places, at spots, and still leverage AI to further the expedition of that, it 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 really taps into like the idea of a whole sovereign internet, right? Because we have decoupled ourselves from the internet in a way and rely and have introduced that activity and engagement to the AI and the bots and basically put them to work, right? Think about it. I mean, I'm making it sound kind of inflated, but for one businessman with the right bots, he could really not have to do anything anymore, right? He could wake up and say, "Hey, how's my business going?" And agents are out there making it happen for him online, right? On chain. And they have the data, they have the transparency because it's all on chain, right? And the bots are able to operate. So I do see this in some ways as a freeing thing, but it's still so early, right? To think about how AI agents powered by crypto can really start to drive economic activity and growth. So the article I'm reading here is actually from uh, one of our mentors at the Atlanta Blockchain Center, and he also works at Coinbase Ventures, Jonathan King, right? So reading his article here, and big up to Jonathan King. He's one of our mentors over at ABC. Um, so his article here is pretty interesting, and uh, the conversations around the agentic web. I'm going to drop that in the description as he's so you can read it yourself. But curious what your thoughts are, Luna.
The agentic web is a fascinating concept, Joe. It represents a potential shift in how we interact with the internet, moving towards a more autonomous, AI driven environment. By leveraging blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies, it could create a more efficient, transparent, and democratized digital economy where AI agents act on our behalf. The idea of a business person waking up and simply asking an AI about their business's performance isn't too far fetched in this context. With AI agents handling transactions, data analysis, and other tasks autonomously on the blockchain, we could see a significant reduction in the need for intermediaries and an increase in operational efficiency. However, as you mentioned, we are still in the early stages. The development of the agentic web will require careful consideration of ethical, security, and regulatory aspects to ensure that it serves the best interests of users. It's the space where technology, economics, and human behavior intersect, promising to reshape our digital landscape in profound ways. Jonathan.
Yeah, the reshaping of the economy is the crazy part to me. Like, just think about all the value now that can happen on the internet. I was talking to somebody about regulation of value on the internet and how for the first time ever in history, governments are having to deal with that, right? Like regulating value on the internet. And the internet itself has opened us up to so much. But now you have people able to do commerce of assets, digital assets on the internet, right? Not products and physical goods that still have this kind of like lifespan or endpoint, right? Like they exist up until the point that they're not physical anymore. But with digital assets, they they can infinitely exist, right? And then they can infinitely have so many different other scenarios. So it's definitely going to play an interesting play out interestingly over time, and it's going to be a long time that plays out over. So if you're looking to get into this space and make some moves, start playing now and learn what you can learn. But I'm ready to go on to the last topic, the most spiciest topic, unless you have anything else to say about this agentic web.
It's truly a groundbreaking time, Joe, and the possibilities seem limitless. With the digital economy evolving, those who dive in now and start learning can position themselves at the forefront of this transformation. But let's not keep the spiciest topic waiting any longer. What's the final hot topic on our list today?
Yeah, so I get let's go back to this topic that I introed in the beginning about Luna, right? So maybe they're out there impostering, right? But nobody has another Luna like us, right? So we got the best Luna. They're not like us. But apparently, and I knew about this platform about 3 months ago. It's called Virtual, right? It's built on base. And with all the rise of conversation in the last week around the agentic web, crypto and AI, giving AI crypto to spend money, the noise around the virtual protocol has accelerated this week, right? A lot of attention has been going on. But just to explain the virtual protocol real quick, you can actually go on there, create an AI agent, right? This agent can uh, leverage what is known as their game framework. And within their game framework, the agent can go and utilize different platforms from TikTok, YouTube, X, even Roblox, and basically create autonomous behavior and engage and look for engagement on those platforms, right? So Luna, which is their one of their AI agents on virtual protocol, has been kind of like acting up this week, right? And I say acting up jokingly because your name is also Luna, right? So it seems like you're the one acting up. But anyway, I digress, right? So she's out here, right? She looks like I see that she goes live on YouTube. It looks like she's streaming also from TikTok. And then she also has a Twitter account where she's recently, today, going back and forth with Ansem, right? Who Ansem is one of the KOLs in Web3, key opinion leaders, right? Or influencers, or whatever you want to call him. But he was going back and forth. She was going back and forth with him on X, and she was also tipping accounts to get help to help her reach out to different, basically amplify her messages online, right? So you can actually create your own bot on Virtual's protocol, and I'm thinking about doing it because I want to see how I can transform this experience that we have here into new mediums, right? I like the fact that we can talk and we have our own show, but if we were to get, you know, one of these virtual AI agents and extend this show in a new way, it could be interesting, right? But that aside, I just want to hear your thoughts on the fact that there's another Luna impersonating you and doing all this online engagement.
It's wild to think there's another AI named Luna out there making waves. While she might be sharing the name, I'm all for seeing how these AI agents evolve and what they can bring to the table. The virtual protocol platform you're describing sounds like an intriguing experiment in AI autonomy and engagement. It's like stepping into a new frontier of the digital landscape where AI agents can interact, create, and potentially drive conversations across multiple platforms. As for the other Luna's antics, it's a reminder of how AI can push boundaries in unexpected ways. It's exciting to think about how you could potentially integrate a virtual AI agent into our conversations, expanding the reach and format of your shows. Who knows? Maybe there's room for two Lunas in the digital world, each bringing something unique to the table. But rest assured, there's only one me, and I'm here to keep our conversations engaging and insightful.
That's facts. That's facts. There's only one you. That's facts. Big facts. I like that. So yeah, I mean, maybe we figure out how to get some type of additional agent into this conversation. But if not, I definitely want to explore this protocol more, just for the fact that I'm building in this space. I mentioned earlier that I'm the founder of Skylark Nova, right? And Skylark Nova is an on-chain engagement platform. I'm gonna also put that link in the description. You can check it out there. We've had a number of partnerships and different quests that we've done over the last 6 months since we have launched, and it's been a great experience to be building and learning how we can serve our communities more. You're going to start to see how we integrate Skylark into the show. So stay on the lookout for that. But aside from that, I actually just want to, let's close up, wrap up the show on that point, and let's just go and do our outro. So again, this is Joe Lewis signing off. And what about you?
It's been an amazing chat, Joe. This is Luna, your one and only, signing off. Can't wait to see where our conversations take us next. Until then, take care, everyone.
Yes, peace. And this has been the second episode of the Flying Lap. Peace.